Oh, hey. Just over here admiring my Glock 20 Gen 4 badass Boresight Solutions 10mm blaster. That is a thing of beauty. You know, old Boresight Solutions, his motto is built for the fight. This thing's built to fight an angry bear. You know what's cool about it is he's done the things that make it badass and nothing more. From the factory, I've got another one of these bone stock. It's a good gun. They're hard to hold on to. This has got his awesome grip texturing. This has a level 2 reduction. So if you want to know what that does, if you have a Glock 17, this is a little bit narrower front to back than a bone stock Glock 17. Pretty cool. That texturing goes up nice and high. Got an aftermarket Vickers mag release and Vickers slide catch. It's got a Apex trigger assembly in it. This gun has a Storm Lake match grade barrel. In the pistol world, especially the Glock world, Storm Lake is one of the best out there that you can possibly get, and that's what's in this gun. It's got a set of Trijicon backup RMR irons, and then of course a Trijicon RMR on board. This frame also has undercuts and reliefs in all the right places to help you get on the trigger and removes any thickened areas that would kind of maybe hinder you getting good trigger press on these wider G20, G21 frames like this, the bigger caliber. A lot of companies that do this kind of work, I've told you about Ben before. Ben is the original customizer of all this stuff. The coatings that he does to the slide are similar to what Glock does or better. They're not just Cerakoted, which is not a bad coating, but it doesn't wear like this does. So this is a chemical process unlike a coating, okay? So it's, when you look at it, most of you are not gonna know that it's not an original Glock finish. This is a sweet gun. When you think about this, 15 rounds of 10mm, one in the chamber, so you're walking around with 16 rounds on board in the backcountry, on duty, as your home protection gun, whatever it may be. 10 is a very flat shooting round. For those of you a little history on the 10, the 40 cal came out of the 10. There's some varying stories on it, but Colonel Cooper of Gunsight had a hand in that. The Bren 10 is the original semi-auto built for it, and there were some manufacturing issues with magazines. Those guns were brought into America, magazines were not available, so there were people buying these amazing Bren 10 pistols, which is kind of a big CZ 75 on steroids, more or less. And they didn't have a magazine because they couldn't get mags for them. So it kind of fizzled out. The FBI adopted the 10, and due to recoil control issues and such, the 40 was designed, which a 40 cal is a 10mm shortened. Now, that said, a lot of 10mm ammo on the market is actually loaded about to 40 cal specs. Depends on what you buy. So if you're going to use a 10mm and you think just because it's that caliber, it doesn't mean that it's got those ballistics. So I'm going to run some target ammo. This is a good grade of target ammo. We're going to run some of Supervel's 10mm solid copper. This is 160 grain solid copper doing about 1,250 feet per second. We're going to hit some gel with this today for you and show you what these little copper missiles will do. Let's get some eyes and ears on and run this hog. We got a target at about 7 yards, and I'm just going to take a couple shots to kind of get used to the recoil, kind of feel what she feels like. Here we go. What do you think? Feels good. Yeah. Why I'm bringing the gun back in and out is not for any reason other than I'm acquiring that dot. I'm just working the gun, seeing how that grip angle he put on there, how it presses out for me and where it naturally points. I don't shoot RMRs a ton, so we did a video where somebody asked, why am I doing that? That's why I'm doing it. I'm not just moving the gun in and out. I'm pressing it out, finding the dot, pressing the trigger, get rid of that mag, load another one, and I'm just seeing how it feels when I get it out there. So all those were good A-zone hits. I got one cutter, but it's still on the line, although we don't like those. Half those rounds are in a hole that big, which doesn't mean anything for a gun like this. I'm just kind of having fun here. Let's do a mag dump, see if we keep them all in that A-zone. Man, that grip reduction feels good. Here we go. Woo! Boy, does that feel good. Let's do a little one-handed shooting. That apex trigger is sweet, dude. It is sweet. Boy, is that a nice shooting gun. I tell you, not shooting, I shoot a lot. I shoot a lot compared to most people. I can feel the difference of having that RMR on there. I feel what it's doing to the slide. I feel the extra movement that it's imparting. I don't know what it looks like to you. The target looks good. It looks like I may need to adjust this dot a little bit because I felt pretty rock solid, and it looks like I'm just to the left side of that A-zone. Right now I'm just shooting the dot as it was sent to us. I'm going to grab my mags and I'm going to load up some Super Vel. I'm going to see how that feeds through the gun. Now this stuff is beautiful. Look at that. Everything Cameron does at Super Vel is just top notch. Gorgeous, nickel plated with that copper. I mean, that's just pretty to look at. I mean, I'd hate to be on the end of any gun, but this is no joke, brothers. This is no joke. All right, that's 15. I'm gonna top us off because I wanna get the full mag in there with one in the chamber so that I can enjoy for longer. All right, Super Vel, 160 grain, solid copper hollow points. We're at about 7.5 yards. I put a piece of printer paper up down there just so I can see my hits. I'm gonna run a couple slow and then I'll speed it up to see what it looks like. Here we go. It's actually very nice shooting. Not snappy at all. The gun absorbs that nice. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Into the gel. Eyes and ears. All right, let's all hold fast. We'll get this gun safe. So that was through 8 layers of a t-shirt. 8 layers. So I folded it up enough that we had 8 layers of t-shirt. We are right here. I'll grab a tape measure real quick so we can see the actual depth of penetration. One of the problems with these big, heavy calibers is that they sometimes can over-penetrate. This stuff's designed to do what it does. So this gave us 15 inches of penetration, went through no crazy test. It was 8 layers of cotton t-shirt. I just had one here and wanted to give it a barrier. I'm going to retrieve the bullet, and I've got a 9mm that we had previously tested. There we go. Look at that. And it's got all that fabric stretched out, pretty cool. Check this out. There's a 9 and there's a 10. Holy smokes. 160 grain, 115 grain. It's a lot of energy there. There's a lot of cutting power, a lot of devastation. One of the reasons that we put the stainless Storm Lake barrel in our build here was not because the Glock barrel's inaccurate, but because a lot of ammunition that you can use with this big 10mm for, say, hunting applications are hard cast bullets. The Glock barrel is not a polygonal barrel or polygonal, depending on how you pronounce it. You shouldn't be shooting hard cast lead bullets. You should be shooting bullets like this or jacketed bullets. You can create a really unsafe condition with that. So that now allows us to use that gun with heavy hard cast bullets like you'd use for bear or something like that. I mean, guys, this is right here a deer hunter's dream with a pistol. It's extremely reliable. The copper is nauseatingly reliable in how it expands. Windshields, bam, it excels. Of course, it's not going to expand like this because hitting that hard object tends to kind of crush it flat, but it comes out the other side with almost all of its weight. Same thing when you're hitting sheet steel or something like that. Devastating stuff, coupled with the reason for this video, a completely gorgeous, gorgeous pistol build from Boresight Solutions. Come on now. I mean, what more could a guy want? With a couple cold beers after the range is cleaned up, I'm a happy man. Mickey with CarryTrainer.com. Drew behind the camera. If you have not yet subscribed to this channel, hit that little bell thingy so that you get notifications when Drew uploads new videos. You should do that. Check out CarryTrainer.com for classes and courses and opportunities to train with us or to get us to your range, to your business, to your church, wherever it is you are to train and do stuff. Be well.
We now make a complete frame parts kit. We make slide parts. So soon enough, even though we still support the builder's market, company's slogan is engage your freedom, because we want people to engage the freedom they have in building a homemade firearm.
Give us a few parts. We've got drill bit, 2 more drill bits, which this jig tells me where they go.